What time is it over there?
6. It's so hot here. Europe's not built for heat.
Is it humid though? It is?
Here it is humid because we have a river and we're at the river. Like our window opens to the river. It's super humid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot and sticky here.
Yeah, it's like Miami. Maybe not as humid, to be fair.
It's just so funny because it was only a couple months ago and it was freezing cold.
Yeah, same here. Then I knew it.
Well, no, I meant there. Here, please. It's been hot for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. It was. I knew it. Like we're not gonna have a spring. It's just gonna come full on.
What is the morning like?
Mornings are actually pleasant, but starting at 8:39, it starts to get hot.
Already.
Yeah, high 20s, low 30s, and then midday is high 30s. Well, I guess in Fahrenheit, it's like 80s, 90s.
Oh, yeah. God, I'm so bad with that conversion. Like, you guys are going to start talking kilometers, and I'm going to go, excuse me.
Well, kilometers is an easier.
Let me Google.
No, kilometers is very easy actually to convert because it's 1.6. So if you want to do just 1.5 for easier math.
That's kind of how I look at it.
But the Fahrenheit to Celsius is much more complicated. Okay. It's like C over 5 equals F over 9 or something like that. And
yeah. Justinas, where are you? Forgot about us.
Yeah, where are you, man? Let me check my Instagram in case he sent me a message.
I hear somebody laughing already.
So good to see you. How are you?
Oh, there's a pretty bike behind you.
Sorry for being late.
It's exciting to meet you. I've seen so many. Well, I've been watching videos for research and stuff, obviously.
Yeah, I think that there's been too many of those now.
Well, we're not sick of you. I am enjoying all the posts.
Yeah, but I'm very thankful for you to invite me here and talk to.
I've been following you, I guess, because forever because of, I'm more into ultra cycling. But we both have Albion, so I am super excited to have you here. We are ready to have this chat and have all those questions.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Yeah, and one thing is like, because from what you've sent to me, I just I don't like to like I like to be a bit of spontaneous stuff and stuff.
We too. It's just a guide. So
it's very good, but like because it's difficult not to repeat yourself so many times when you talk about the same stuff. But your questions were like, which they turn things a bit from the other's perspective. So I think it's going to be really fun.
Good to know.
Yeah. Was there anything that wasn't as repetitive as maybe some of the other questions?
Yeah, I mean, there were quite a few who made me think a bit like, what is your most essential, non-essential thing on a bike? I mean, I had to really, what do I have? What's like, I probably could get rid of a bit more stuff.
Or bring a couple more things. Yeah.
Yeah, or pack some more. But I don't know. Yeah, it's been interesting to read those.
Yeah. I mean, everybody packs differently.
Go ahead.
So Debbie, you don't do any ultra cycling, right? So you are...
I never have, but listening to you and Juliana, like I was saying, it really did transport me. And I go to that place when I'm cycling. I used to be a dancer growing up. So when I did first cycle, I just instantly felt that same connection of that mind body, like this is clicking and my brain needs to be so freaking overstimulated. So if I'm not stimulated, I'm bored off my fucking ass. You can tell I go a mile a minute. So that is speaking my language. Like I'm like, shit, I would love to do that, but I don't know where to start.
Then you're talking to the right persons, man.
Yeah.
I know. Help you out.
I need you guys to show me, because I'm in the US, so it would have to be something not as far from me to get my feet wet and dip in. So
you can do the divide. Start there.
That's like saying go to Unbound and do the 200.
Yeah, jump at the deep end of the pool straight away. Don't waste time. You don't need to start with the race. This is what I did too. I didn't start with the race. I started with like backpacking trips, like weekend trips and overnighters, and that's how you get in there. Like,
I think I'd rather do it that way. You can go wherever you want. If you like it, you stay a little longer, you eat a little more, and you meet all these people, because if you're on a race, you have to stay on a schedule. We should be, well, I am recording this shit, by the way, so I can edit stuff in.
Maybe kick off with the intro.
Now we can start. So the more good stuff gonna be.
We have a little flow going. All right, so I'm gonna start with the intro. Hopefully I don't F it up. Sorry if I curse a lot, Justinas. Am I saying your name right?
Love that. If I can curse, then
okay. You can curse. This is not a clean podcast.
All right, are we ready? I can't look at you guys or I'm gonna start laughing. Okay. On this episode of Zone to Speak, we are chatting with the victorious Justinas Leveika, a Lithuanian ultracyclist and nurse. Yes, you heard that right. This beautiful man is not only an ultra multi-talented cyclist, but a skilled nurse to boot. He just recently came off of the world-famous 4,418 kilometer Tour Divide of 2024, breaking the world record of my call by 35 minutes. Win! That deserves a huge celebration. Some deep, refreshing breaths, and a couple good nights' sleep until your next adventure. Because Justinas does not stop. They don't call him the King of Chaos for nothing. Following his Tour Divide triumph, he boldly launched his first event as creator of Bright Midnight, a self-supported ultra cycling race that takes place in Norway. Speaking of picturesque Norway, not only does he now call it his home base, but the birthplace where his journey and passion with ultra cycling took shape. Let's sit back and let Justinas fill us in on how it all unfolded and what makes him tick. One thing's for sure. That infectious smile is a vessel of positivity that defines him. He's smiling right now, by the way. That trademark, along with his personality, being so engaging and approachable, you can't help but want to follow this guy on whatever adventure he takes on next. Let's get started, Justinas. Welcome, you radiant soul, you.
Hello, what the intro, huh? That's amazing. Yeah. Hello, you beautiful people, all to you listening and not having enough.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into cycling and then found ultracycling. But first, maybe for the people that don't know what ultracycling is, if you can just give it a little bit of a summary of what is ultracycling.
Yes, like for me.
Yeah, but it can be anything. Like, I mean, yeah. So in my eyes, an ultra is when you at least have to be on the road for, let's say, 24 hours. This is like roughly. Because there are those races now, and they are getting popular, those gravel races that are extended to like 200 miles, like Leadwell, or like not Leadwell, Unbound. And there is Tracker 360 in Europe, right? So there are more and more of those who take like 15, 16 hours for mid-pack to finish. So it's like it's a sprint, an ultra sprint, I would call it. It's like not a proper ultra. Wow. So an ultra starts from 24 hours plus, and where at least the tactics of resting, not resting comes into play. Where you have to go through a night where you can't get away with just arm warmers and a gilet when you might need to pack a bit more. So this is how I see ultras. But I'm pretty young in this game as well, so I don't know if I can define what's what. So I started like cycling kicked off when I came to Norway, so that's about 10 years ago. Until then, I played football or soccer, and it was just for convenience, like football. And for ease, I will call it football, as we do it here in Europe. But I mean soccer by saying that, and it's a team sport, right? So I quickly found a team here in Norway too to play with, but the problem is I wanted to, like, my main focus was on becoming a good nurse. So I was taking all the shifts possible, like day shifts, night shifts, evenings, weekends, holidays. I was working everything, and that made it a bit difficult to train together with the team. And
Of course. Yeah.
individually, I was still okay. I could
Right.
I could play, but
Yeah.
it didn't bring that same joy any longer. Like you, yeah.
Yeah.
And then came a bike in the picture that like it's like whenever you have time between the shifts or after the shift, and you can just jump on and you can
Yeah.
see more in a short
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So and Norway is beautiful, so
Of course.
this is how it kind of rolled off. Like, yeah, so I started cycling.
Tell us a little bit more. I mean, I know there is a lot that became organic to you, but do you have any routine or anything that you do to help you prepare for the races?
Yeah, not exactly like I'm, but I'm very bad with following plans, and everything. Like, so everything is kind of, I just try to adapt, try to be flexible, and try to get most of what I have. So when I came here to this little town as well, I was like, I'm gonna be there for a year and just gonna go further north, maybe try some of polar nights and polar days. But eventually I found out that there was a cycling team here, which I then wanted to join.
Of course.
And then like when I made that transition, finally got on the team, the COVID came and then the team stopped. So, but by that time I already discovered how much time you save by living in a small place versus like Oslo, a big capital. Because here I can start my training like out of the door. Like I can like my first climbs or intervals, I can start them 10 minutes. I even need to extend and find some roads to do my warm up before I can start
Wow.
training. So that's real. And 10-minute commute, 10 minutes on a bike to work, and then it's just like no queues, no traffic lights. The
How
only
wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and I just tried to make max it out as much as I could, because in bigger places you have to get through the traffic lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. I just moved to Girona in Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and I always lived in big cities, and I was really craving a small town, and I'm so happy. Like, I don't even want to buy a car. I don't have a car. I do everything walking and by bike, and it's so much better. It's so much better, especially for the training as well. You enjoy the bike so much more. You just 5 minutes, you are in rural places or climbing mountains.
Well, how many bikes do you have by now then? Like you
Oh
have to
my
get the
gosh.
commute bike, you have to get the grocery bike, you have to get the pub bike, cafe
I
bike.
need a cargo bike. I mean,
Exactly. So it's like,
an e-bike.
There's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
excuse for everything now.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about bike packing.
Bike packing, it's everything. Like it can be
Everywhere.
done on the road, right?
Yeah.
It's just taking your bike and going for an adventure,
Absolutely.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, pretty
On
much.
any style bike, really. Too.
I never from all the stories I've heard, like nobody has started with like full kit on, like proper bike.
Yeah.
Everybody used like their backpack that they had somewhere laying around. They kind of botched and did something just to make it stick to the bike somewhere. I mean, and this is because it's difficult. Like, I mean, bike packing is like with all the gear. If you want to buy it and you just to try, it can be really expensive.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I have a question there, because some of these races, Juliana, for instance, do you do a lot of self-supported or do you do mostly, there's some that are more supported and there's different rules and regulations, right? With all of that?
I think most ultra races are self-supported. I haven't heard of any that is supported, unless like those fast gravel ones, they might have a food station if you're doing 200 kilometers, but
there are lots of those variations of support during those races.
True.
Yeah, because at least I did one race not so long ago in May, a race across Italy,
Oh.
That's also. I mean, they have the supported category where there is a follow car.
Ah, nice. Okay.
But unsupported category also has 3, as they call, time stations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And before you start the race, you get the bag where you can put stuff that you want to get at the station. So it's like, yeah, it's unsupported, but like in a very gray zone. Where's the support? I mean, because you can leave yourself clothes, you can leave yourself spare parts, nutrition, hydration, everything can be in the bag.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I saw one race a while ago in Indonesia that I really wanted to do because I'd never been there. So usually all my holidays have to have a bike race.
Sort of right.
But then, that was 2020 and we know what happened there. So that race never took. But they had an option, like you said, that you didn't have to carry all your stuff. You could just go, just your bike. It sounds so glamorous.
Yeah, that does sound
and then
nice.
Get your stuff on the car later. Yeah.
But this is also like a soft entry into ultracycling, right? So you can kind of get to experience how it is to ride long and far, but have a chance or have this sense of security that you're gonna get your stuff, or like familiar stuff, because there's it's impossible to carry all the nutrition that you are familiar with, right? So you have to rely on what you're gonna find in those petrol stations or whatever stations or grocery stores.
Yeah.
And if you are in Africa or Asia, some places, I mean, the food's not gonna be familiar, and and you won't be able to get everything with you for 1,000 kilometers. So it's a bit like a uncertainty, adventure. I like to call it adventure. Some people kind of freak out of this adventure.
Yeah, they probably freak out, or they do a little research, like what they might have somewhere, so they kind of are familiarized with it. But it seems like you kind of go off the cuff and
some
say,
people don't do research and show up in Africa like, where is the petrol station?
No, there's more.
Right.
There's more.
Is there anything that you have to pack that it's worked for you? And it's one of those things you just love to have, whether it's a gel, a bar, a drink
I don't know,
mix.
Usually if the race is very hot, I know that there's going to be hot. And so in petrol stations, you not always going to find electrolytes. So usually I take the electrolyte tablets. Yeah, that's the only thing that I kind of deliberately take with me, and sometimes end up not using them at all.
I was shocked by that. You don't cramp, none of that. No stomach, oh my God, I'd probably fall off the bike.
But that's because I find pickles, pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
There's the trick.
Yeah,
this is the secret weapon.
Shit, I shouldn't have told this, but yeah.
I used to do mustard packets. It works too.
Or hot sauce packages.
Really?
Yeah,
but it has that acidity like pickles. I don't know. It works too.
I'm surprised. Like in US, when you go to any shop, there's just you can buy juice in gallons, milk in gallons, but single pickles, that's what you get.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now it's possible to get a single pickle, and there's and they add I don't know. There's perfect amount of fluid or juice inside.
Pickle juice inside.
Yeah. So I loved it. I mean, that was perfect. I carried one from I don't know for how many miles, but I had it at the finish. After I finished, I ate my lucky pickle.
That's awesome.
Amazing. I love it. So I guess that's your favorite snack.
That is my favorite snack. Exactly. I mean, this is, oh my God. I might, but I feel always sorry for all vegetarians who decide to do ultras, and especially in countries where food is
I am a vegetarian, but I throw that out the door. No, out the window, out the door. I don't know how you say it, but yeah, when you are an adventure, you have to be immersed, and you don't have a choice. Wherever you stop, you need to eat what it's fast and easy and keep going. So, but some people are like, no, I'm a vegetarian. I'm not going to eat. I'm like, okay, good luck then.
And if the race wouldn't be hard enough on itself, right? I mean,
exactly.
So I'm sure you want to do so many other races or bike pack now that you're done. I don't know if you're done competing I don't know how the season works. Are you tired of racing for right now?
No, I mean, I've been tired like after I organized my own race. So I've been tired for a day or two because organizing is way harder than racing yourself. I mean, when you race, you rest and then you do the race. Yeah, then you are tired, but then you finish and you can recover.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, you don't sleep much before the race, you don't sleep during the race, and you don't sleep after the race. So it's like, oh my God, it's
okay.
like,
Share about that. Come on, I want to hear
tell
about
us more about
because I'm amazed that you did this.
Nah, so it's been amazing. Like I really had great fun with the riders, and I kind of succeed. Like, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm a person who's I'm always seek for improvement or some kind of. I want to do better and better.
Of
So
course.
I had this vision of like Bright Midnight, how it came like to life at all. Like it was because I did a lot of those races, and I was to be fast. In order to be fast, you have to ride through the night. And when you ride through the night, so you don't see a shit, and then you are you cross some national parks, and you just hear the waterfalls or rivers around you, but you don't see anything. So I was very like, I would come back home and I would like go through the pictures that we get sent by the photographers, and then I was like, wow, this place looks like that. Oh wow, this is amazing. Oh, I need to go back there. So it was always a pity, like I raced through, I didn't saw this, I didn't saw that. So, and when I was riding, I was preparing to a race. I think that was 3 Peaks for some years ago, and I was training and I was riding in June, like mid-June, and it never got dark. And I couldn't. That was a problem because I couldn't test my light setup because I didn't need to turn them on. But on the other hand, this idea of like, this doesn't get dark here. So so that's, and like after, I think later that year when I crashed out of Atlas Mountain Race, I couldn't ride my bike for a while, so I had some time, and I just put all my like training loops together, and it kind of came into shape. And let's try to do that.
That's so cool. I love
Amazing.
it. Especially, I mean, that's a brilliant idea to do it that way. You know?
And I think it's for women, being a woman, I'm always so afraid of the dark, riding alone. So hopefully I can make it up to Norway, next year, because the idea that you have, come, we can do a pair.
Debbie, this might be a first race. I mean, I had plenty of first timers this year as well, and this is what I also love about this, that people choose. I mean, I wouldn't say that this is the easiest race to do, like to begin with, but in like in those aspects that you just named, Juliana, like it's safe, it doesn't get dark, it's like civilized country, so you kind of are not, even though you can feel very far away from everything, but you still are one touch away from the help or from anything. So it's like,
that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. But the other thing which I was also very focused on is like this community building, right? So we are a young and small sport and bubble. I mean, this has been existing, but kind of exploded during those social media times, because when people started to be able to post and talk a bit more about this.
Mm-hmm.
So this community is growing and growing fast, and there are so many interesting people doing those ultras, and I'm in a lucky position, like I'm the race organizer, so I receive all these emails, so I kind of can see who is like a CEO or manager or like salesman, blah blah blah. There's everything from bike messengers to businessmen, and very successful businessmen. But the one thing that unites everybody is like this seek of adventure, and when everybody puts their helmet on, and stands on a bike before the start, they are all equal.
We're all equal.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And
I
there
love
are
that part.
all like males, females, all the. I've been taught a word like I'm a proper, I don't know how to call it, boomer or what's that generation, but I
Baby
don't.
boomer? You're too young.
No, I don't know, but like it's like LGBT people,
Right.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
I think in general it's just everybody too, and
exactly. So
everybody looks the same.
yeah, it
That way.
equals out. It equals out
Right.
everyone, and this is what is so beautiful about this. Like it doesn't matter who you are, who you love, and you just you are there for the bike ride. So
you're there for the adventure, and you get to be next to other people who are there for the same reason, and there's something so special about that. That was something that drew me to cycling right away. Everybody has that common excitement and joy to ride their bike.
Tell us, what are your highs and lows? I don't know if there were any lows from Tour Divide.
From Tour Divide, all right. Lows. This is a bit more difficult. Difficult, but because this is the problem I have. It's like the first world problem to have, but like because I do so many races and my life is at kind of the highest speed possible now, so I sometimes don't have even time to process things like properly. Like from one race I come back, I just start changing the bike and start getting my head around the next race before I even processed what I just went through. So it's like a bit of the same with Tour Divide. I just came back and like I landed, and 2 hours later my sister landed, so I picked her from the airport and we flew home, and since that day we were in bright midnight, and that's it. So I had only those 3-4 days when I stayed in Tucson to think about what I had done.
Everything that just happened.
So talking to those you old people and sharing my experience, that helps to bring memories and think about and reflect a bit more. But and our brains and bodies are special things, like they can kind of black out the worst memories, and
that's
like
true.
what's the worst.
Why do you think we do it all again? That's true.
So those absolute worst ones, I think they're gone by now. I mean, there were a few lows, but they were related to kind of not like, as soon as you get some expectations, then you kind of get yourself in a trouble. So as long as you carry on with the flow and just take it as it comes, everything's fine. But as soon as you get expectations, because I remember like pushing hard, and this is funny because I was racing with Uber, right? But I think we synchronized our hard, like the sections we pushed hard, so we kind of still. I was pushing hard, he was pushing hard. I was slowing down, he was slowing down. So it's like the gap
was maintained,
the same. Like even though the effort levels varied hugely. I mean, I didn't ride on like set like you cruise control and you just stay in the same pace, but still the gap stayed. And this is like when you make this dig, you push hard, you try to get the gap, and then you see that the gap didn't got any bigger.
Right.
Then it's like why did I do this at all?
Yeah,
that's funny. That's really funny.
Competition too, in a way. I mean, because it is a competition.
It is. I mean, it's a fun thing. If not my dear friend Uva, I wouldn't be where I am, and I'm really thankful for him for that. I mean, I
absolutely
don't know.
Pushes you harder. If he's not there on your tail, then you're like, okay, I have a few kilometers from the second person.
I mean, it's clear by now that we helped each other a lot by this, by pushing each other to our limits and testing them, and sometimes not even past our limits. So I love him.
So you're saying
nice.
about changing the bike components, changing bikes. I know Deb is going to be all over this because she's a bike fitter. But what is the thought process on choosing the bike and the components as you go through different races and adventures?
I always have this slider, you know. On one side there is comfort and the other side is speed.
Yeah.
So you slide it between those two things. Like the more speed you want, the lighter stuff you take, then you kind of get rid of some stuff that you might take. You take some risks, and okay, probably. Or I mean, if it's gonna get cold, how long I can bear the cold? Like
yeah.
So those things like risks come into picture. And another thing is like, how soon will you get the bill for the actions or like things you haven't done? So because if the race is short enough, you can get away with getting the bill after you finish. Like, So this is when you can start taking like carbon shoes, carbon soles, or doing all these things in order to be faster in the course. But then you suffer after you finish, like then you'll get them numb feet, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And you can get yourself in more aggressive position on the bike. You're also gonna win some speed, but probably your muscles not gonna be so happy, and
you're gonna be a little
at some point they're gonna give up
on the line, right?
Yeah. And the longer the race, the more you have to go towards comfort, because you're definitely gonna get the bill before the race is over. So then you have to kind of look after yourself much more, and the components on the bike as well. Then they have to be stronger. You can't get away with the lightest shit on the bike, because that's gonna break.
It's gotta work.
That's good advice.
You gotta maintain that. I mean, is that part of the process too of like prepping and seeing how the components and everything fare in different conditions? I mean, you've seen that because I saw sometimes dirt gets and clogs up everywhere with like the suspension, and obviously all that stuff can happen. It may not happen, it might. Even shoes and cleats with mud, it can lock in there. I mean, I've not been able to get out of my cleat before just stepping into something when I was wearing speed play, and I was like, holy shit, I was ready to fall. Like, oh wow, I'm gonna fall. I know how to fall. But I've
done that. I remember in Morocco we crossed the river and the shoes and pedals filled up with everything, with mud. And then, pedals became so tight. I mean, I would and every time we would get into those like slow speed sections, and you would need to clip out because your wheel kind of gets stuck between the stones, and you need to clip out, and then you just like with the whole bike.
I saw a video from Bright Midnight. I don't know who was, but there was this guy that he sat down, he took his shoes off to cross the river. And then as he's crossing the river, he dropped this. I was like, poor kid.
But you know, because I was there, and I was like, you have to run, man.
Yeah, the shoe was like going on the stream.
He was just looking at it, like, I mean, he was a bit in a bit of a shock.
I think so.
but later we talked a lot about him because he became a star, and his like thoughts were like, this is my race going, and he just like,
bye.
I'm never gonna get it back.
Those are one of those mistakes I guess you make too. So you got to learn along the way. With the Tour Divide, that the previous year you wore like lighter, stiffer sole shoes that when you wanted to take them off to rest, recover a little, your feet were stuck in the shoes, and then it was hard to get them back in because of like swelling.
Exactly.
So you opted for more comfort this time around.
A lot more comfort.
I mean, that makes a difference a little. So what did that mean for you?
You know, that you lose some efficiency, right? Because the sole is not so stiff, So you kind of with every pedal stroke, you kind of. But what all the watts has to say at the end if you can't push it, like if you can't, if you can,
exactly.
Yeah.
so it's pointless. This is like
You can go farther longer as long as you're more comfortable.
It takes time to understand that. It took me time as well, and it's sometimes very hard to learn from others' mistakes. So you kind of need to do those mistakes yourself.
No, I agree. But everybody also has to go through it, like you said, and live and experience it and see, oh, you were right. That isn't very comfortable. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, you learn from it. Do you travel with tools just in case you do have to tweak something? Like, let's say you want to be a little more aggressive, lower the nose of the saddle, or you just stick with your fit and you're like, this is it? Because you look like you don't want to mess with shit too much either.
No, actually, I mean, I think I've never, apart from once when I noticed that my saddle dropped by quite some. Then I had to kind of bring it back to the same height. But like so I always have the mini tool, so I kind of can do those small adjustments. But once the bike, like I use, like now I'm kind of so my next race is Colorado Trail, and it starts in the 11th of August, so it's like 3
weeks.
So and I got a bike for that, and now I'm using, so now every ride I take or I do is like, I don't know how many stops to tweak.
Right, of course, because it's a new bike. And it's a little different geometry and everything.
But this is the time I use to get myself into position, and like, so that I wouldn't need to do that, because that's also frustrating, right?
It's so frustrating.
You have time to do that and not be in a tight schedule or anything. So and but the only thing which I maybe done once is like cleat position, to adjust the cleat position just to relieve some, because at some point I started to get some pain in my knee, and like I had to also throughout all these years and experience, you kind of know where to move what so that it would do good.
Yeah, that's the benefit in a way of being on the bike for so many kilometers. I'm saying kilometers, Juliana. See.
So, Justinas, do you have a coach, or how do you train?
He's like,
No, but so I do have a coach, and I'm very, very happy to have her. But I'm not coachable, this is the problem. I can have many coaches.
Why do you say that?
But they struggle.
Tell us more.
No, so I have Peter, and she's an amazing woman, and I think because she's also stubborn, so she kind of and she learned to manipulate me in the best possible way. So we kind of
holding that carrot.
Yeah. She knows when to do what, and when to suggest what to me, because I kind of take everything she says as a suggestion, not as a thing that I have to do, and that works. And in that way, it works. I mean, we have some agreements that I have to behave in some races, and follow a plan and a structure, or like not completely a plan, but at least some guidance,
some structure.
Yes. But there are races where I can do what the fuck I want, and I can go.
She lets you free sometimes.
Yes. On my full adventure, I can get my hair loose and just like let them flow in the wind. So that's the way it does. It's been done now. And with with the athletes that coach themselves, the worst is like overtraining, because you think you can always squeeze another training session, you can always go harder. It's like, I suffered from that before, so I know this. So I sometimes say she's my recovery coach. So that
you know what? Sometimes you need that, because you already know how to train, but there's always some sort of a weakness, and that's why you need somebody.
Rest and recovery is part of the training, so
it's huge. Recovery makes you stronger, just like you said in one of your races that unfortunately something happened one time with the battery and you were able to sleep and oh my goodness, I'm riding stronger.
Exactly.
Crap, recovery works.
Yeah, but so this is the thing I mean. Like it takes such a long time to realize a thing like
Of
that,
course
right?
it does.
If I wouldn't have forgotten the charger, I would probably still try to push through all nights, rest as little as I can, and do all this. But because I fucking did that stupid shit, so now
Best
I
mistake ever.
best mistake ever. I mean, the race organizer Nelson was joking, and he's gonna be probably teasing me with this forever, for the rest of my life. That you won the race because you forgot the charger. I mean,
That's hilarious. That's a good story. That's really
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, sometimes we have to live ourselves to learn the lesson. So there you go.
100%.
And this is also a thing that I took now from the race. I mean, I talked to a lot of people before the start, right? The first timers, the rookies, and when they finish the race, how different the approach. And so before the race, you can tell them almost whatever you want.
Yeah.
They don't relate to that. It's not relatable to them. They haven't been in the situations that you are
Right.
talking to them about. You try to explain them, but they haven't been there. And if they haven't been there, nothing works. I mean, you can give them advices, as many as you want. It just doesn't stick. But if you do that after the race, after they've done those mistakes, and then you tell them, you could have done this and that, and then they're like, wow, this is what I should do next time. And then they, shit, I have to go do another one, or I have to sign again, and I'm gonna, But because it's not relatable, it's hard to relate.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to do it or you can't relate. It's like somebody learning on their feet. And there's certain people that learn well by being taught in person or doing the actual action rather than watching or listening. But I think with cycling, you have to learn to do everything. With Ultra 2, you also have to learn how to do pretty much all your own maintenance. It's not just packing and preparing. You need to know how to change a flat, how to patch everything. Like,
I mean,
no, you're laughing maybe.
Yeah, but I laugh. I don't know if I want to, there's many stories that I could share, but I don't know if but the one, I'm probably gonna introduce a bike check, or that I'm gonna send a list to the riders what they have to go before they come to the race.
Yeah.
Because we have this local, I'm super lucky that here in Tolga we have this local bike shop, Tolga Cycle Mecca. And the owner of the bike shop, he's done the race now also, all the time.
Nice.
So he's a crazy guy. But the problem is that he gets overworked before the race starts, because all the riders come, and surprise, surprise, things don't work on the bike. They build up the bikes and shit. My crank, my bottom bracket is seized, my pedals, they don't come on. Oh my god, there's so many small stuff that could have been done at home and fixed at home before they come, and would make their life less stressful, because those last minute repairs. And Tolga is not the biggest place. I mean, we have some parts in the shop, but not to all sorts of bikes, and not all types of bottom brackets and stuff. But you really get surprised. People, I think that I plan little, but some people take some people take even more relaxed approach when they're gonna go.
Yeah, I've seen it. What kind of things do you like to do off the bike? Do you like to do to unwind, to just kind of lay back, have fun, relax?
Yeah, there hasn't been much
time off yet.
No, I mean, my usual, but now I think my life gonna change a bit. It's just today's second day that I woke up at the guest-free house. I have no longer so my sister stayed ever since I came back from Tour Divide. So when I left for Tour Divide on, was it 10th of June, something like that? I think it was 10th of June.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah. It's been a
since
few
10th
months.
of June, I've been surrounded by people in one the other way, like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my and why I have this hope that my life will be a bit different now is just like because 2 days before Grand Depart was my last official day as a manager of the long-term care home.
Right.
So now I have downgraded myself back to a nurse. I'm just a nurse, and that's gonna bring a lot more flexibility. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I would work 37.5 hours a week. This is like how many hours Norwegian work
Mm-hmm.
week has.
Yeah.
So it's already
Well,
not bad, but like that would be
yeah.
from 7:30 until 3 in the afternoon,
Yeah, that's not bad.
and Monday to Friday, yeah. And then I would like at least few days a week I would go and work in the bike shop, in a local bike shop, or like not work but volunteer. So I would build bikes, repair bikes, and
I've
try
done that
Oh,
to
that's
learn.
genius.
So
That's
yeah
good. Yeah.
genius. Yeah.
to sell some bikes and just like that relationship. So
Yeah.
it's always your local bike shop that supports you first. I mean, I wouldn't be there without them as well. So it's just like my way to pay back for what they did for me some time
Yeah.
ago. So it's like
Yeah.
and always like even though those local bike shops, they're never gonna offer you the price that you can get on the internet, but still go there.
I
Agree.
Do
Support
agree.
that.
small
We see that
business.
a lot right now,
Yeah,
but
this is
there's
so
something you can't
important.
get online that you
No,
can get from your local bike shop. You're right.
exactly. And like, oh my God, yeah. So I'm all for that. People would go to those shops and do the stuff, and yeah, just go there, look around. You'll find something to buy. There's always something to buy. It's always
I
something
agree.
unique.
Plus, you get that service behind it. It's different.
Yeah,
You don't
and the
get that any
relationship.
other way. The
No.
relationship, they're going to help you out. They're going to show you if you go to the right shop,
Mm.
which, elites like that. But we are like that. And I can tell that this shop that you volunteer at is like that too, or I don't think you'd want to be there.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and especially if you're buying something, I think, especially like something that it's a little bit more of an investment, a pair of wheels, or you're just going to have the support that you're not going to get from when you buy online.
100%.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the best thing about those things. Like because we do the services on the bikes that we should, and yeah, because this bike shop is like people come from towns around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in summer times we got so busy at some point that we only took service on the bikes that we have sold. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, so that's again to also prioritize the customers that trusted us and
Right.
bought the bikes from us. But it also shows like the necessity of having a local bike shop, because
Yeah.
people,
agree.
yeah, you
It
can't
comes
send
in
your
line
bike
with the
back to
support.
the internet shop and ask them, yeah, adjust my
Exactly.
gears now and do something.
Exactly.
Nope.
So yeah, so that would be like 2 hours after work. So from 4 to 6, I would be there. Then I would come back
Wow.
home, jump on a bike, do the training, 2 to 3 hours. Like then it's
Wow.
already 9 o'clock, and
Eat
then
and
you
go to
can
sleep.
then you can realize that there's not much time
There's
for
not much
anything
time
else.
left.
Yeah. So if I would open like book is on my night table, but it's only like I would read 2 lines to fall asleep. It's
And then
like
exactly. You're like,
one book can last years for me. It's like I can get through one
audio
page.
book, but you'll still be falling asleep too.
Exactly. It doesn't help me either. So now and weekends, yeah, then I usually try to implement some longer rides and not to get bored riding on same road. Sometimes I would take a train or a car a bit further away and just try some new roads, explore something, or that would in my racing season, I would need sometimes to work the weekend. So I would go for a race, come back from a race, work 14 or 13 days straight, and prepare to go to another race. So it's, yeah, my schedule has been pretty busy.
Okay. So now that you're going to be, when will you start back in your new schedule? When you get back from Colorado, or you're still transitioning as to when you're going to go back?
No, definitely from. I'm probably gonna take some shifts before Colorado because I mean I feel recovered now already. I've got
Yeah.
some days, like because
Yeah.
it's just like being now those last nights when I got like more continuous sleep, like I would need to
Right.
wake up to welcome a rider coming middle of the night. So,
Yeah.
or like I still managed to oversleep some people. I feel terrible for that. Like I really really sorry. But yeah, that was the case. Like now I slept some. I feel good. I got back on the bike, start training, and yeah, preparing.
Yeah,
Right.
recovery's everything. Yeah, that's what happens. But I
Like
think maybe your adventure is what you do in your free time is your adventure, and that's it. I mean, that is what makes you happy. So
yeah, this is why like I'm like I love this also quote: "Find what you love and let it kill you."
I agree. And you can do all these fun things on the bike. You can go to a pub on the bike. You can stop anywhere, meet somebody, have a conversation, eat at this
Yeah,
interesting restaurant or truck stop or
yeah.
what do you call them? Petrol stations.
Love.
Sounds so fancy.
I love all these petrol stations. Huge stations.
You should do a video on just a bunch of petrol stations and all
The
the different
reviews,
ones.
the reviews.
Reviews, yeah.
I had some fun questions to ask. What's your favorite candy like to eat on the bike?
I really got hooked on those almond M&Ms, like M&Ms but with almonds inside.
That's a good
I don't think I've ever
idea.
tried
Yeah,
those.
they are good. But this is clearly what I eat during the races, and not all petrol stations has it, so it's like a bit of a treat.
Mhm.
But like the most, I make my own like rocket fuel bars.
Ooh, that sounds
That's
fun. You got to put a
yeah,
What is
but
recipe
in
out.
it? What is in those?
everything that has
It's a secret.
calories. Like the most calorie dense product that you can put in, that's what I put in. They're not always able to keep their shape because there's too much fat or something. They just fall apart. but still, like
Shazam.
I would pack them in the bags, and then you can eat with it like handful. Not
Right.
necessarily that they look
I
perfect.
love making rice cakes, so they are also very high calories.
Yeah, exactly, and they're good if you know how
They're
to
yummy.
make good ones.
Yeah,
But the
Yeah.
problem with rice cakes is like they don't last long.
That's true.
Yeah,
the
That's
shelf
true.
life.
you have
Yeah,
to.
you
they have
got
a
to
short
eat
shelf.
it kind of right away. Yeah, that's true.
One day in the pocket is okay. Second day,
Yeah, and if it's not too much heat as well, I'm always a little paranoid if you're doing a long ride and it's too hot. Because I usually do with coconut milk, and I'm like, okay, it's not dairy, but still.
Vegan.
yeah.
I'm not vegan. I eat eggs.
No, I try to be non-dairy anyway, just because, oat milk, almond milk, but all that stuff, I mean, it still has good fats and stuff, and that's really what you get out of that. That's what gives you the fuel, the energy. You just need to make sure, especially if you're doing cycling in general, or of course, ultra sports, that you need to fuel more. And that's what you're seeing more. And you're seeing all these performance gains that people are saying, God, these Tour de France athletes, these pro athletes, the level. Well, it's also the nutrition level has changed just as much as the training.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
if you don't fuel the right way, you can't get those gains, especially if you don't fuel the right way, you don't train the right way, you don't recover the right way. So yeah,
all connected
I
at the
have
end.
too much recovery. I need to train more.
Yeah, but it's very, very true. And like the technical side of the bikes as well has changed a lot. So
yeah,
but nutrition is very important. Or like, I mean, someone called those races eating races. So I mean, if you don't,
part of the sport.
Yeah. If you don't like to eat, then this is definitely is not
get
something
off the
for you.
bike. It's not the place to restrict a calorie.
No,
because you need it at every chance you can get.
It's non-stop eating on ultras. It's really a second sport.
if you don't remember
it's
when
an
you
eating
ate,
contest too.
if you don't remember when you snacked last time, it's too late.
Yeah.
Do you have to
For
set any
sure.
timers as far as that goes, or
No.
you're just
I
really
don't
good
forget
with
to
that?
eat.
No.
I don't think I would either.
I
like
just
food
love to
too
eat
much.
food, so I
Yeah.
eat always.
Yeah, I don't understand people that need those timers. I'm like, you need a reminder?
Mm.
Sometimes to drink, especially if it's a new route you're going on and you're a little preoccupied with just kind of staying on course and where you're at. I can understand that. Or changing climates, because I know in Miami we don't get as much cool weather, so we're so used to hydrating and staying on top of things. Well, I know I am with when the weather and temperature changes, because it's so hot, you really need to focus on that hydration like crazy, even if you're in the flats.
Yeah, in
It's
winter
insane.
time is also difficult, like to drink
Yeah,
enough.
that's what it
Yeah,
was.
that's true.
Because you're cooler, so your body temp is a little lower. So sometimes your heart rate, other things play into that. So sometimes you're not feeling a certain way, but you still have to fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Well, we've probably like taken so much of your time. Is there anything else you want to talk about or share about, like promote for yourself? Are you going to do any more? Do you think Bright Midnight is going to be kind of where you stop and just kind of hone in
Nah, never.
or do you think you want to do some more events?
You know,
Have
like
you
when
dipped
you're
in?
on the bike, and like especially I don't like to listen for the music, so I'm always alone with my thoughts and plans
Yeah.
and reflections and everything. So I have many ideas, but like ideas is just like things that
Run through your head.
some become reality, as like Bright Midnight did.
Yeah.
Some never see the daylight, but I have another hope and thought, and yeah, might share it here for the first time, but like yeah, so I have a plan to make a fat midnight, and fat midnight, and fat would be the fat bike, so it would be a winter.
Oh, that's
Cool.
awesome. I love it.
That's really cool.
Cool.
So that's
Yeah.
something different. I mean, there's so many races to choose at the summer or spring and autumn time, but winter ultra gives you some more spice, like some different spice and different
And you
ingredients.
probably can see the
Northern
aurora.
Lights.
Yeah, Northern Lights. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
it'll be magical.
yeah, so that's on the making and probably gonna be released soon. More information about that, but yeah, and
Awesome.
and lots of other like plans. So now after Tour de White, I got into this Triple Crown. So now that's why I'm gonna go to Colorado. So later on in the year is gonna be Arizona, and I'm definitely not gonna chill and relax until that. So it's gonna be.
We hope not. Can't wait to see, what else, from ideas and breaking records coming from you and the Triple Crown.
Yeah, those records, I mean, I don't know. Like the record was a cherry on top. Like I just tried to fix the mistakes I did last year, because I did quite a few, and yeah, it turned out that I could cut quite a lot of time from my last year's attempt. So that was amazing, and that helped me to get this record stuff. I mean, I don't know. I probably haven't processed it enough, or like I don't know,
Yeah.
because it's just. I mean, nobody can be sure for how long it's gonna stay, right? So it's
You're
like,
very humble, but it is a big deal.
yeah,
It is.
but the thing that so Lachlan did it in 12 and a half days, right? So it can be done faster. That's
right.
certain, because there's already people.
His was undocumented, right?
Right.
Like,
it was I think.
Right. It wasn't part of. He rode the Tour Divide on his own and did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
wrote
where-
it on his own. So that means that it's possible to do it as fast as he did it. and we didn't have the like perfect weather conditions, right? So we had snow in Montana, we had rain in New Mexico, so there was all these things that made the course slower, and so I even when I finished and I could sleep for a couple of hours, so I knew where I could cut some time off my attempt as well. But in order to do that, I also understand how lucky you have to be.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. The conditions have to favor you.
yeah, they have to
Yeah.
align, even though we didn't have perfect ones, but still they allowed me to ride most of the time. I didn't got stuck in a toilet in a basin for 13 hours.
Yeah.
I could always kind of choose more or less when to sleep, how long to sleep, and adjust that. But apart from those times when I had to race some storms and some snow and shit weather, but so yeah, I know that it can be done faster.
It can be done. Mm-hmm.
But and it probably will. It's just like, yeah, time.
Will
time
it be you? Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You'll see.
But also because of all these, because of understanding all that, so that's why I decided to do that Triple Crown this year. It's just like, I can't see myself doing another Tour Divide anytime soon. And in order, if I would like to do the Triple Crown, then I would need to do the Tour Divide again. And no, not.
So it's Colorado next month.
Yeah.
In October, I think.
Okay.
So
I'll be cheering for you for sure.
Yeah, but Arizona, I don't know if you know this, but like it's a bit special because you have to go through Grand Canyon and you have to hike with your bike down and up. So the wheels can't touch the ground for 34 kilometers, I think. Yeah, I think it's like
wow. I didn't know it was for that long.
Yeah,
That's
it is
almost
a long
cyclocross.
Yeah, exactly. I'm considering to strap a kid's bike on my back and run the whole thing, just like it's gonna be as fast as or unicycle, just one wheel.
But Breestrap has a bike.
The
I
harness.
never tried it. Yeah, the harness. Yeah, I haven't tried. I'm not a big fan of hike a bike, but
I mean, I did,
especially for 34 kilometers.
I hiked quite a few. Like there are quite a few hiker bikes that I've done during Atlas and Silk Road and those races, but there you've always been able to push your bike alongside, or at least you could lift up some rocks and mountains and you kind of climb after it, and there, because it's a national park and reservoir.
Okay, so the bike cannot touch the ground.
The wheels you have to dismount actually, so that.
Wow. Okay.
So that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
A bit different.
Ooh. So that one's you are doing that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be in October later this year. Yeah.
But the climate over there shouldn't be too bad at that time of year.
It's gonna be a bit cooler, I hope.
Right.
Because when I've been,
will be. It will be.
Yeah, because in Tucson, when I finished Tour Divide, I spent some days there, and it was hot.
Hot.
I mean, oh my god! I don't know. I really prefer winter over.
It's like a sweat lodge.
It is like what can you do? You exit the house and just
you're instantly like
and you just lose your momentum.
I know everything like your energy. Just you can have all this. Oh, let's do all this stuff, and everything just dies,
melts.
Very good. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
No, so what we have to use, like energy wise, to warm our houses here in winter, I think they use the equal amount to cool them off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. I don't know. And the water, so for Arizona, it's like water is another problem because there's not so many streams and creeks like you're in the desert.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting. So there's some challenges,
Oh yeah, that you got to research a little bit more of where you need to be able to stop and get water because it's different.
That's true.
Yeah, the way your body's going to process stuff. So hopefully it is cooler. Yeah, that helps.
With the climate and what's happening,
I know
nobody knows.
You can't be certain about anything any longer. It's like. This is why I also do all these races now. As I don't know.
It's true, we don't know. 5 years, 10 years from now.
Yeah. Look at all the glaciers and stuff. Oh my god.
It's scary.
So more people on the bikes, please.
Yes.
as soon
All
as
right. I gotta
possible.
start. No excuses.
Bright
But
Midnight 2025, Debbie.
I mean, it's not now. It's too early to tell that there's gonna be a 2025 edition.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm still going through, all the. Now it's the boring part, like you have to get all you're
The
receiving
aftermath.
you're receiving all the invoices and all the bills and
Oh, yeah.
and the administration is not so fun. It's more
Of
fun to
course not.
run
Gotta
around,
work hard. Yeah. Never
run
fun.
after the riders and do that. Welcome them at the finish and spend some time with those half humans. Not half humans. I mean, but they are a bit out of space
Yeah.
when they just finish, and
Mhm.
I love to see it because I'm usually the one that sits there and is like,
It's good to be on the other side.
exactly. It's so fun to see that, and yeah, I learn a lot about those ultra races just by experiencing and seeing how does it look for the people who have never done it before, and I'm kind of like the easiest way to, because you never kind of you can never have the same first experience that you have had.
Yeah.
So but the closest you can get to that is when the other person experiences it for the first time and you see that on their faces and their emotions.
Yeah.
So I
It
kind
brings
of
you back.
live on that when I see the others finishing and being proud of themselves and all these feelings coming in, like when they
Yeah.
really realize that there were so many times they wanted to quit but they didn't, and now they are here, they're getting the finishers medal and that and the beer, right? And this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
funny, this is the best part about this. Like you finish whatever and set the record on Tour de White, and you finish and I eat my fucking pickle that I carried for 200 miles and a burger that I bought at Silver City. Is like there's no arcs and no.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so close and so down to earth. This thing that I just wanted to keep it that way, and I hope it's like a very double-edged sword, this, because you kind of want attention, because with attention comes money and sponsorships and stuff, and
More
it allows
opportunities to
athletes
do more with what you would like to do.
then it enables you to do the decisions like I did, right? Like when you kind of step off a bit at work and you see it, combine those things and bring some more, but also when the money is involved, so it ruins it a bit, like it kind
It's
of
a different pressure, I guess.
I understand.
And when there's money on the line, people tend to do more stupid shit. That's also part of what it could, like, I don't know. So I really wanted to keep it as it is, stay it as it is, but also bring some more attention and show the brands. I mean, there are quite a few brands. I'm lucky to have Tailfin Albion and many others, and Trek is now also starting to realize what
you can bring to the table.
Like that it is a growing stuff. Like we are growing. And podcasts like yours, I mean, they bring audience.
We should do it again after Arizona.
Start relaxing a little bit too.
Take a week in Miami, huh? Like that.
Oh my God, yeah.
No, but yeah, it's a thing, like post race. And I remember very clearly, like after the last race on my first year as an ultra, it was Badlands, and after Badlands I then had suddenly nothing, because that year I decided to do 3 races. So first one was Trans-Pyrenees, then it was Trans-Iberica, and then last one was Badlands. And the post-race blues, it was so strong.
It's like all the hype and all that feeling and the adrenaline. And then when it's all done, it's like,
you're so much with yourself, and you are out there and you're just riding, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, coming back to reality.
Yes.
An adjustment.
Really, and it's such a different reality.
Yeah, and also that's a thing that I took up during the last days when most people have finished. That like to enjoy the time together now, and when you can sit and talk about the same things you just went through, right? The same course, like they know to detail. They can just mention one climb and everybody knows how they felt there, how it was. And then you come back home, right? And hands off. Like you tell your wife or your husband or whatever.
And they have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
So difficult.
They can't, you just can't. And then it's just, you can't really process it more because you can't really talk about it the same way.
No. The people you just experienced that is somehow closer to you because they
of course.
Yeah, and then
they're with you. They experience.
I don't know if you get that as well. Like I have people at work or they will ask things like, "Oh, it's the Tour de France. Are you going?"
I had many of those. Like,
no.
And I always say it's too easy. No.
True.
I prefer if they would. I prefer to do it without a car that follows me and gives me food and drinks.
True.
And that there is
you could do the Tour de France like Lachlan did it. Remember, he did it.
If he wouldn't have done it by then, I would do it now. But it's done.
Still do it.
Yeah.
I
now
know,
I
maybe
can go.
not as original right now. You can do something different.
Now I can go bigger. I can connect all 3 Grand Tours. Like
that's it. Giro Tour,
and then back to and when you finish in Welsh, right?
Yeah,
that's nice. That's
wonderful. Well, thank you, Justinas, for giving us your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, mine too. I had fun chatting with you guys.
Yeah, you're a lot of fun. So
let's do it again soon.
We really appreciate it. You didn't curse enough, though.
Huh?
You didn't curse enough.
I'll try to do better next time.
All right.
Let us know when you get back. We'll definitely have to do. Maybe we'll do a check-in with you and see how everything went. But
cool.
Yeah,
thank you.
Right.
And good luck.
Thank you so much.
Oh, he doesn't need it.
True.
Need all the luck you can get.
Yeah, he's a natural. All right, Justinas, thank you so much for your time. All right.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
You
Take
too.
it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.